thank you. Like, just thank you, Lisa Leslie. Thank you, Lisa Leslie. I cannot stress this enough. Thank you. There is somebody with sense. There is actually somebody with some sense.
What Lisa Leslie recently said about Caitlin Clark felt like a rare moment of clarity in an otherwise noisy conversation. After months of former and current WNBA players along with media figures attacking the so-called Caitlin Clark money machine, Leslie's comments cut through all the nonsense. She dismantled every tired talking point the critics keep recycling and, in doing so, made the haters look foolish. Among WNBA legends, there is no stronger ally than Lisa Leslie. She is one of the most iconic figures in women's basketball history, the original trailblazer, the first to dunk the blueprint. If women's basketball had a Mount Rushmore, Lisa's face would be carved into it. While jealousy around Caitlin Clark continues to simmer, Leslie's common-sense perspective restores balance and forces critics to pause. Or at least it should. Because if we've learned anything, it's that the more Caitlin achieves and the more she elevates the league, the louder the complaints become. So let's break down exactly what Lisa said. Words powerful enough to shut down any hater instantly. But first, hit that like button. Every like equals one tissue for the critics. Trust me, they're going to need them. So why is Lisa speaking up now? Because Caitlin is shattering records without even stepping on the court, and once again, the critics are losing their minds and pretending she doesn't deserve it.
No secret that the Indiana Fever are by far the most popular team in the WNBA, and I'm so glad that we're finally just, I don't know if admitting it is the right word, but they're finally acting on it. And you guys, I'm happy that they're acting on it because this news is not only just good for the Indiana Fever and Indiana Fever fans, it is good for the entire WNBA.
It's no longer a secret. Caitlin Clark is the most popular player the WNBA has ever seen, and quite possibly the most talked about female athlete in America today. The attention and financial impact surrounding her are impossible to ignore. Need proof? During her rookie season, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever rewrote the record books. In 2024, the Fever welcomed more than 300,000 fans at home games, setting a new single-season attendance record and marking an astonishing 39% increase from the previous year. Across the league, attendance surged as well, with 154 sellouts, more than triple the number from 2023. Television numbers skyrocketed, too. The 2024 season became the most-watched WNBA season ever, with the 7 highest-rated games in ESPN's history all occurring last year, many featuring Clark and the Fever. Altogether, more than 54 million viewers tuned in, an all-time high. Her influence didn't stop there. Even in the off-season, Clark's star power dominated headlines when the Fever announced a preseason exhibition game in Iowa, her college home. Fans bought all 15,000 tickets in less than an hour, selling out the arena for a preseason matchup. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. This should have been a celebration for every WNBA player, as increased exposure means more opportunities and better pay. For decades, the league was viewed as a financial burden supported by the NBA. Now, thanks largely to Caitlin, the WNBA finally has a legitimate path toward long-term growth. Yet instead of joy, jealousy surfaced. While some players tried to stay professional, resentment crept through, and others openly attempted to minimize her role by claiming the league's rise had nothing to do with her.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Even worse, some critics went as far as linking her popularity to race, suggesting that her fame exists only because she is white, an argument both lazy and divisive.
It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest.
That attitude didn't stop with players. It spread to segments of the media and even fans. And to be fair, the frustration is understandable. If you're another player, it probably stings when every interview and press conference circles back to Caitlin Clark. Being constantly asked about someone else has to wear on you. But the answer isn't bitterness or tearing her down. The smart move is to capitalize on the spotlight she brings and give new viewers a reason to remember your name as well. This ongoing negativity hurts a league that has desperately needed a transcendent star to attract casual fans and finally push women's basketball into mainstream relevance. Nearly 19 million people watched Caitlin Clark in the NCAA championship game. No women's player had ever entered the WNBA with that level of hype. At Iowa, she was a one-woman spectacle, dropping 40-point performances during March Madness and carrying her team to back-to-back national title game appearances. Simply put, we've never seen a player enter the league with this kind of profile. Even legends like Candace Parker or Diana Taurasi didn't arrive with that magnitude of buzz, and that buzz is exactly what Caitlin delivered to the WNBA.
Clark, step back, hits a three! Caitlin Clark looking to push the pace. Clark showing off the moves. Clark, all to the rim, just couldn't finish. Clark with the hesitation. Clark gets inside and lays.
She almost single-handedly made the league must-watch. Attendance records fell, merchandise sales exploded, and the numbers speak for themselves. Clear, undeniable, and impossible to argue against. You'd have to be completely disconnected from reality, buried under a mountain, and wearing noise-canceling headphones at a Metallica concert to miss what's happening right now.
Clark with the board.
Diana Taurasi has 48 triples coming into the game.
Logo!
6. Caitlin Clark didn't just live up to the hype. She exceeded it. On the court, she delivered in every possible way. She set new WNBA records for assists in a single season and for points scored by a guard, including a league record 19 assists in one game. Over the course of the season, she averaged close to 20 points per night and led the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. So much for the doubts about whether her game would translate to the professional level. Clearly, it did. And she does it with flair. Pull-up logo threes, slick no-look passes, and a level of confidence that jumps off the screen. Caitlin Clark isn't just a popularity phenomenon. She's elite where it matters most, between the lines.
Today, 20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5.6
Those
turnovers.
are hell of a number.
Those are hell of a number.
But to me, that's not dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a...
Yet somehow, parts of the WNBA ecosystem still struggle to accept it. For some, Caitlin's rise feels like a direct hit to their pride. Despite their talent, they never received the level of mainstream attention she's enjoying now, and that resentment shows. A recent example came when 6 WNBA teams moved their home games against the Fever into NBA arenas, while awkwardly refusing to admit it was because of Caitlin Clark. The Atlanta Dream's owner even blamed a scheduling issue at their usual venue, a conflict that was conveniently solved by relocating to a 16,000-seat NBA arena. Not long after, the league released its national broadcast schedule for the upcoming season.
Such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 32.
The results were eye-opening but hardly surprising. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were scheduled for 41 nationally televised games, a new WNBA record. That's 8 more than Aya Wilson's Aces, and 9 more than Breanna Stewart's reigning champion Liberty. And honestly, who's shocked? Last season, any game featuring Caitlin Clark drew significantly higher viewership, sometimes up to 3 times more than other matchups. One of her playoff games alone pulled in 2.5 million viewers, outperforming even recent WNBA finals. This isn't secret information. Everyone knows it. Now teams and broadcasters are simply backing it up with action. This season represents a massive opportunity, not just for Caitlin, but for the entire league. Indiana, in particular, looks loaded after major free agent moves. They added veterans like Dawana Bonner, a 6-time All-Star and 2-time champion, and Natasha Howard, a 3-time champion and former Defensive Player of the Year. They also brought in Brianna Turner, an elite rim protector, and Sydney Colson, a savvy 2-time champion who provides leadership off the bench. The biggest splash may have been trading for sharpshooter Sophie Cunningham, known for her toughness and swagger. In short, Indiana is done rebuilding. On paper, they now look like real contenders, boasting 5 All-Stars: Clark, Bonner, Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, and 2023 Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston, along with multiple champions and impressive depth. The quality of basketball is about to rise, and fans are ready to invest. Still, once the broadcast news dropped, complaints began pouring in, even from players who stand to benefit the most from this increased exposure, including one of the league's top stars, Nafessa Collier, fresh off a finals appearance and an MVP win in her unrivaled offseason league. When asked on ESPN's First Take about Clark's 41 national TV games, she responded with this.
I think it's two things. I mean, obviously people want to watch Caitlin play, and so you have to put the people on TV that people want to see. But at the same time, like, there's stars all over the league, and you want good basketball as well. Obviously, Indiana, especially like with their free agents, they're gonna be a great team. But to not have the defending champs on TV more, I think it's kind of crazy.
Here's where a bit of perspective is needed before circling back to Lisa Leslie, who addressed this far more calmly. Of all people, Nafessa Collier should understand the bigger picture. She sits on the WNBA Players Executive Committee, actively fighting for higher salaries. She knows superstars are essential to growing any league. That's why she once tried to sign Caitlin Clark to play an unrivaled for a reported $1 million, because she knew Caitlin was crucial to its success. And what happened? Caitlin declined, swatting the offer away like Dikembe Mutombo. The result? Unrivaled saw decent interest, but struggled to consistently break 100,000 viewers. It had moments, but nothing close to the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Ironically, Unrivaled featured many of the same elite players Collier argues deserve more attention, yet without Caitlin, it still couldn't move the needle. The same pattern applies to the WNBA itself. Those stars were already in the league in 2021, 2022, and 2023, when ratings grew slowly. Then Caitlin Clark arrived in 2024, and everything exploded.
Good for the entire WNBA. So I have the broadcast schedule here. We have ABC, NBA TV, Prime Video, CBS, ESPN, 1, 2, 3.
At the heart of all this is the issue players care about most: fair pay. Right now, many WNBA salaries remain shockingly low. Some players earn less than a local Costco assistant manager, which feels absurd for professional athletes. But historically, the league simply didn't generate enough revenue to support higher pay. That's starting to change. With a new collective bargaining agreement on the horizon, players are preparing to negotiate for better compensation and have even hinted at striking if demands aren't met. If anything, this moment should be seen as an opportunity. With unprecedented attention on the league, now is the time for players to step up, put on elite performances, and turn new viewers into lifelong fans. That's how you grow revenue and earn bigger paychecks, not by complaining, but by expanding the pie. Yet the pattern remains. Some want higher salaries without matching revenue, and more national TV games without matching Caitlin Clark's popularity. Interesting, right? All right, rant over. Let's get back to Lisa Leslie. In a recent USA Today interview, when asked about Caitlin Clark's expanded TV schedule, she delivered a perfect response, an A-plus answer worth memorizing and repeating to anyone who still questions Caitlin Clark's impact.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect, called the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Obviously, like, that is so true. Every word of that statement is a fact.
Honestly, frame it and hang it in the Louvre. That statement was art. Lisa Leslie was absolutely right. Why on earth would anyone be angry that more people are finally watching her sport? But she didn't stop there. Lisa went even deeper, breaking down how the Caitlin Clark effect benefits every single player in the league. It's something most players can clearly see with their own eyes, yet many still refuse to acknowledge it. Instead, They choose denial, plugging their ears, stomping their feet, while Caitlyn quietly brings unprecedented attention and revenue that lifts everyone along with her.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat.
There's an old saying that perfectly fits this moment: a rising tide lifts all boats. What's happening with Caitlyn Clark isn't just a phase. It's a turning point that will permanently change women's basketball and the financial future of its players. We've seen this story before. When a truly transcendent superstar emerges, the entire league benefits. Look at the NBA in the 1980s. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird revived a struggling league, and Michael Jordan later took it worldwide. Do you think players back then complained about Magic or MJ getting too much attention? If they did, history made them look ridiculous. Those stars brought fans, money, and opportunity for everyone. The WNBA is having its version of that moment right now, and Caitlyn Clark is at the center of it. She's generating massive interest and revenue while earning only around $76,000 from the league herself. That massive $2.2 billion media rights deal the WNBA just secured didn't appear out of thin air. It's largely fueled by the surge in viewership Caitlyn created. Even Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve openly credited Caitlyn's arrival as a key factor in landing that deal. The enormous pie the league is about to divide was baked because of Caitlyn, yet somehow some people are still criticizing the chef. Lisa Leslie finally pointed out what really frustrates fans the most: the lack of gratitude shown by certain players.
I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlyn is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have.
And that criticism carries extra weight coming from an original pioneer of the league. Lisa Leslie helped build the WNBA into something worth inheriting. That's what true stars are supposed to do: leave the game better than they found it. Legends like Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Miller, Cheryl Swoops, Sue Bird, and Diana Taurasi all paved the road that today's players now walk on. This moment, Caitlyn Clark taking the league to unprecedented heights, is exactly what they hoped for. A new star pushing women's basketball further than they ever could. Caitlyn herself has never tried to hog the spotlight. She knows she's driving the momentum, but she consistently gives credit to current players and the legends who came before her, not because she has to, but because it's the right thing to do. Despite all the hype, she's remained remarkably humble. A perfect example: the NBA invited Caitlyn to compete in their All-Star Weekend three-point contest, a massive platform where she would have stolen headlines instantly. She declined. Why? Because she wanted her first professional three-point contest to happen at the WNBA All-Star Game on her home court in Indianapolis. She didn't want to overshadow her own league or become a novelty act for the NBA. Instead, she chose to elevate the WNBA stage. That kind of decision demands respect. Even as her legend grows, Caitlyn remains focused on the game, not the fame. Unfortunately, that respect isn't always returned by her peers, despite everything she's done for the league.
No, it was nuts. There's no other way to say it. It was nuts. I think, you're seeing a team that's now affecting the economy in the city. You got people coming from out of town, out of state, out of the country, maybe even to see games. And so that's special.
So yes, there are still voices of reason out there, but it's obvious the league has a long way to go. Realistically, Caitlyn Clark could shatter every record, win championships, and even help multiply everyone's paychecks, and there would still be a handful of players trying to downplay her role or claim credit themselves. Until another superstar, maybe USC phenom Juju Watkins, UConn's Paige Buchers, or someone else, enters the league and builds their own gravitational pull of popularity, the spotlight will stay firmly on Caitlyn. And even if someone does rise, it may never reach the same level. That's just reality. Caitlyn will remain the lightning rod because the attention follows impact. Being at the top is lonely. Lisa Leslie understands it. Cheryl Miller understands it. Caitlyn's teammates, who chose to join Indiana specifically to play alongside her, understand it too. But until more players speak out loudly enough to drown out the negativity, this dynamic won't disappear. Hopefully, as more voices rise, facts will begin to outweigh feelings. The league has a real opportunity right now. Support one another, put on an incredible product, welcome new fans, and turn them into lifelong WNBA supporters, not just Caitlin Clark fans. Because the real goal is league-wide growth. Do that and everyone wins, on the court and at the bank. If players truly embrace this moment and deliver, we could be headed for an unforgettable season. If last year felt crazy, buckle up. Year 2 of the Caitlin Clark era looks even bigger. Record attendance could fall again. TV ratings could explode again. And who knows, we might even see a deep Indiana Fever playoff run that completely breaks the internet. One thing certain, you won't want to miss a second of what's coming next.